Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to help us celebrate some of our most distinguished alums. Today, we connect past, present, and future in a celebration of 5 College of Engineering graduates and their impact on the profession and on our world. We begin our ceremony by recognizing past inductees who are with us today. Mr. Michael Bowling. Mr. James Boyd. Mr. Lonnie Bellar. Miss Elaine Duncan. Dr. Ruth Dyer. Mr. Steve Gardner. Dr. Joseph Halcomb III. Mr. Todd Johnson. Dr. Raj Krishnaswamy. Mr. Oscar Nasrati. Mr. Stan Pigman. Mr. Steve Polston. Mr. David Shippey. Dr. Wayne Skaggs. Mr. Mike Strain. Miss Beth Weeks. Mr. D. Ralph Young. In 1992, the college welcomed its first class of inductees into a new society designed to recognize and honor alumni for exemplary professional accomplishments, outstanding character, and ongoing commitment to a community of service. This is the Hall of Distinction in the College of Engineering. You may have seen the plaques that are in the Ralph G. Anderson Building atrium. Each of these plaques in our Hall of Distinction represents decades of personal dedication to advancing the engineering field, whether in academia, in research, or in the executive suite. The Hall of Distinction has also allowed the College of Engineering to recognize and honor alumni who broke barriers. This includes alumni like Margaret Ingalls, who in 1916 became UK's first female graduate in the College of Engineering, or became the first female graduate from the university when she received a degree in mechanical engineering. A spokesperson for the engineering profession, Miss Ingalls gave over 200 speeches from 1932 until 1952. And at the Women's Centennial Congress in 1940, she was recognized, along with Eleanor Roosevelt, as one of the 100 women in the United States who had successful careers in fields not open to women in 1840. Mr. Holloway Fields Jr., the first African American to graduate from the University of Kentucky. Mr. Fields turned his electrical engineering degree into a productive career at General Electric. He rose from the position of test program engineer to technical manager and remained active throughout his career as a member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. Berkeley Davis Sr. He played forward for the Kentucky Wildcats basketball team in the 1930s before excelling as an engineer and vice president for General Electric. To say that this is a select society is an understatement. Including today's inductees, we now have 151 members of the Hall of Distinction in a college that has existed for 156 years. Thank you all for all you have done to It is now my honor to introduce our acting provost, Dr. Bob Tapala. Dr. Depala has been the Dean of the College of Medicine at the University of Kentucky and Vice President of Clinical Academic Affairs for UK Healthcare for the past 5.5 years. He recently assumed duties as in the role of acting provost. Dr. Depala is a first-generation college graduate and completed his medical degree at the University of Utah. After graduation, he pursued an internal medicine residency at Duke University Medical Center, followed by a fellowship in hematology-oncology at the University of Pennsylvania. At the University of Kentucky, as dean, he led the creation of a statewide four-year program campus expansion program, including 2 new full campuses in Bowling Green and Northern Kentucky. He has launched new educational and research initiatives and led increased federal research funding with a doubling of funding over the past 5 years. It is my pleasure to welcome Acting Provost and my friend and colleague, Dr. Bob Tapala.
Now, this is really my honor, and this is impressive. And I just want to really thank you for having me here this evening. You talked about 151 members. I want to say a little bit about the University of Kentucky and certainly the UK College of Engineering, especially under Dean Buckheit's leadership. For more than 150 years, the University of Kentucky has fulfilled its mission to advance the Commonwealth. And this event recognizes the outstanding contributions of our alumni, our distinguished alumni, in living our promise. At UK and at the UK College of Engineering, we promise to do more and to be more for those we serve, within and beyond the borders of this campus. Today, we honor alumni from this college who have established lasting legacies of excellence throughout their careers. Your impact is inspiring to all of us. It is, in the simplest but most profound way, a reflection of who we are at the University of Kentucky. We are almost halfway through the fall 2021 semester, and you know it's been challenging in many different ways. It's been pretty amazing, though, to look back upon what we've accomplished despite the headwinds of the past 2 years. We have made those achievements by working collaboratively together. And indeed, as just one metric, the University of Kentucky put up a massive vaccine clinic that administered more than 250,000 doses of COVID vaccine early in the process, saving thousands of lives and giving hope. And I don't know if you've seen the metrics, but right now, the vaccination rate of the campus for faculty is 97% of the faculty. So we don't slow down. And collaboration, fueled by this college's aspirations to launch new aerospace engineering and biomedical engineering programs, equipping our students for careers in the 21st century. And all this occurred even through the pandemic. Collaboration with Toyota and Bluegrass Community and Technical College allowed for the development of new undergraduate programs in crucial areas in engineering technology. And I want to make a special note, also under Dean Buckheit's leadership, that the College of Engineering in fiscal year 2021 had the highest research funding ever from external funding of $34.4 million. In the last 5 years, it has seen an increase of nearly 62% in research funding, impacting the Commonwealth in new and innovative ways. In these ways, and many more, this work is advancing Kentucky. These past months as acting provost have been and solidified the many possibilities that arise when talented, committed individuals working together in transdisciplinary ways. And you, as friends and supporters of this college, play a crucial role in all of this work. Your partnership makes us stronger. Your commitment to this university and its mission help us, again, advance Kentucky. As President Capilouto often says, we are many people, but we are one community. In fact, this value serves as the core principle or core principles of our strategic plan, the roadmap that will propel our institution forward. And that strategic plan was just approved by the Board of Trustees in its last meeting this past week. And perhaps what is most exciting when you look around the campus, I'm inspired by our people and their commitment to building a better future for our state. The four-part mission of this institution, education, research, service, and care, remains our North Star in that noble pursuit. The College of Engineering has contributed to each of these areas significantly with great impact. Each inductee tonight serves as a testament to how we are strengthening Kentucky and Kentucky's future, preparing its workforce, stimulating its economy, and generating discovery that transforms industries in the state and beyond. The individuals being honored tonight are diverse in terms of the impressive accolades and accomplishments in your biographies. However, each of you share a common characteristic. You make us proud to call you UK alumni. You are all partners, and together we'll continue to advance Kentucky. And again, I'm just honored to celebrate this event with you, and just thank you again. Thank you.
We are here because of our students. I'm going to introduce you to one of our rising stars. Shelley Williams is in their final semester of undergraduate studies in mechanical engineering at the University of Kentucky. As part of their degree, they are also pursuing minors in biomedical engineering and music performance, with plans to pursue study at the graduate level in biomedical engineering. Shelley has completed 2 co-op rotations with Ethicon Endosurgery in Cincinnati, where they perform testing, data analysis, and process improvement projects in support of their team's goals. At UK, Shelley currently serves as the mechanical subsystem lead for the solar car team. They manage the team's mechanical projects, mentor younger students, and lead mechanical operations during national competitions. They also work in the college's Innovation Center, where they help maintain equipment and train students. Shelley has also collaborated on research in the lab of mechanical engineering professor Meg Grady, investigating methods of determining the mass density of cells in support of research on cell and biofilm adhesion. A member of the Tau Beta Pi Engineering Honor Society and a Patterson Scholar, Shelley was the recipient of the 2021 Outstanding Senior in Mechanical Engineering Award. Shelley, I invite you to come to the stage for your remarks.
Hello, and thank you for granting me the opportunity to address this group tonight. Throughout my time at UK, I've had the fortune to meet and work with many distinguished people. The professors who have taught me over the years, my teammates on the solar car team, and the classmates I've collaborated with, among others, have all left their impressions on my life. Some of these people have been recognized as members of the College of Engineering Hall of Distinction, including Stan Pigman, Elaine Duncan, Dr. Rebecca Liebert, Billy Sue Chaffins, and Dr. Joseph Halcomb, but all of them have had a significant impact on both me and on their communities. Since my sophomore year, I have been a member of the UK Solar Car team. Through this team, I have gained more hands-on engineering experience than I would have been able to achieve through classes alone. Since joining, I have helped design, manufacture, and maintain the team's cars, mentored students on the team as both a peer and as a team leader, and competed in 3 national collegiate competitions. This past summer, we placed first in the Formula Sun Grand Prix and second in the American Solar Challenge, facing teams from the University of Illinois, MIT, Georgia Tech, and UC Berkeley, among others. Being a member of this team also gave me a place to belong on campus, providing me with a strong support network of fellow engineering students and allowing me to reach out to the greater campus community and Lexington community. However, this fantastic educational experience available to engineering students at UK would not be possible without the support of the college and of its alumni, notably, again, Stan Pigman, who provides us with continuous support and resources and visits us at our competitions every year. Being a member of the Solar Car team also helped me to get my first internship at Ethicon, through which I realized my passion for biomedical engineering. I've since sought out additional opportunities in the field, including pursuing a minor in biomedical engineering through the department which Dr. Halcomb helped to grow, collaborating on research with Dr. Grady, accepting an internship position at a Lexington startup following my graduation in December, and pursuing graduate studies, which I anticipate on starting in the fall of 2022. Last semester, I was selected to participate in the Dean's Leadership Class, a program for outstanding students in the College of Engineering to connect with and learn from alumni who are leaders in their fields. Each guest speaker passed on valuable insights into how they leveraged what they learned during their time at UK to engage with the people around them and become better engineers. Their stories helped me to better define my own values and better define my career plans, and their dedication to giving back to their communities exemplifies one of the pillars of the College of Engineering. The University of Kentucky is home to many notable engineers who work to make an impact on the world and the people in their lives. Tonight's honorees, Joan Coleman, R.D. James, Richard Simpson, Margaret Sturgill, and Harlan Wheatley, are well deserving of this recognition. They have all made themselves distinguished in their fields and have given back to their communities by serving as board members, providing support for local organizations, engaging in environmental stewardship, cultural education, and STEM outreach, and by donating to charities and faith-based organizations. They are an inspiration to everyone in their communities and to the students in the College of Engineering, and they give an example of what we should all hope to achieve as engineers. Congratulations to you all.
Shelley, we're looking forward to seeing where you go and what you do. At this time, we will begin the induction ceremony with a video narrated by the voice of the Wildcats, Mr. Carl Nathy, who will help us get to know our inductees.
Joan Coleman describes herself as a lifelong learner, a trait she learned from her parents. Raised with a strong work ethic and an interest in calculus and physics, Coleman followed two of her older brothers into the engineering profession. After graduating from UK in 1986, Coleman joined South Central Bell Telephone Company, which later became Bell South and then AT&T. She began her career as a network traffic engineer, after which she held the titles of Industry Relations Manager, Docket Manager, and Product Marketing Manager, before being promoted to Director of Corporate Strategic Planning, and then became the Director of Regulatory and External Affairs. In 2003, Coleman became Vice President for Regulatory and External Affairs, representing the company externally at the Public Service Commission, in the state legislature, within the telecommunications industry, and throughout the community, leveraging technical, financial, regulatory, and political know-how. Coleman and her team successfully developed and presented the company's policy and supporting data before the Kentucky Public Service Commission and the legislature, resulting in the enactment of significant telecommunications deregulation in 2006. When Bell South and AT&T merged in 2007, Coleman was hired as AT&T's Kentucky State President. As president, Coleman led cross-functional operation and customer service teams in the state, as well as all regulatory, legislative, and external affairs initiatives. Coleman retired from AT&T Kentucky in 2009. Since her retirement from AT&T, Coleman provides consulting services related to strategic management, team building, and executive coaching to for-profit and nonprofit organizations through her management consulting company, Coleman Consulting, LLC. Among others, Coleman has helped the Actors Theater Louisville, Kentucky Science Center, Louisville Metro Government, and her own church develop strategic plans and improve their management. Joan Coleman lives in Louisville with her husband Greg, a 1986 UK electrical engineering alumnus. They have 3 daughters and 1 grandson.
I'm Mike Johnson. I'm chair in electrical and computer engineering here at UK. Joan, in honor of your distinguished service to the profession, your outstanding character, and your contributions to the community, we are so proud to induct you into the UK College of Engineering Hall of Distinction.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Bunkite and Jana and everybody else that has spent a lot of time making this day so special. We've had so much fun, even though we did have to start at 7:30 this morning. But it's been a ton of fun, and I know it takes a ton of work for people to pull something like this together in this beautiful place. So I wanted to shout out to all those folks because it really has been a great day. This recognition and honor really was unexpected surprise for me and an honor for me. I'm humbled by the award, and then especially today after I've met all these great people here, it really has been humbling for me. So I do want to congratulate everybody up here. It's been great getting to know you today and all of the other honorees that have been in the past. I know many of you and worked with you for a while. So I want to first thank my family and friends who came here today to celebrate the honor. They've been with me for decades and really supported me through everything, and I'm really thankful for the blessing of them. I want to specifically recognize my husband, Greg, and thank him. He's been my greatest cheerleader. He's also a fellow electrical engineering grad, so, you know, we did hang out in college a little bit and study. So he's been my greatest cheerleader and encourager for all of my professional and my personal and community efforts throughout the 35 years. We've had a good ride, and we've been blessed with 3 beautiful daughters, and we've welcomed in a new son-in-law to my oldest daughter, Kara, and we have our new baby Leo in the back. If you haven't seen him, you want to see him tonight. So he's only 2 months old. So being a woman in the so-called man's field, or really in telecommunications in general, really didn't seem as anything unusual to me. And I credit that to the fact that I grew up in a large family. I'm from Kentucky, and I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. And they all really challenged me in childhood to really overcome obstacles, to work to achieve my goals, and just as they did. They never really let me win at games. I had to do it on my own. They taught me how to play sports, play music, made me tough, hardworking, and a good friend to all. They, especially my parents, pushed me to be the best I could be by living that standard themselves. I want to thank my friends and coworkers, especially those who have come here today, because they've been my go-to advisors. I don't know how many phone calls I've made to many of you through the years, and really the power of many, thought-provoking, coming up with decisions, problem-solving together, because those relationships had just really made me love whatever it was I was doing. So I want to thank all of you. I really also wanted to encourage alumni who haven't done it yet to reconnect with the university, because it has really been a gift for me. It's wonderful because you value the degree that you got here, and you also help all of the students who are here. And Shelley did an amazing job today, so by the way, thank you. I saw her earlier in the Innovation Center, and very impressed then and then again tonight. But it gives those students really what it looks like in the future for them, and the fruits of their labor, and what it's going to be like when they make it through that tough program that they have to go through in engineering. I've really enjoyed, because I've been a part of the ECE advisory board with Larry Holloway and Mike Johnson and many of the other folks who are here today, and I've also been able to be on the philanthropy committee here at UK. I've really recognized that the leadership here at UK in engineering is just outstanding, and I've really enjoyed interacting with them, the faculty, and all the students through the years. And so I recommend, if you haven't done it yet, reconnect with the university. And then really finally, I wanted to leave you with the motto I believe is the reason I stand here today, and that is to do small things with great love. Achieving great things, it doesn't happen quickly or without written goals. It's another one of my tips, write down your goals. It takes daily doses of approaching everything you do with great love and passion. Thank you.
Ricky R.D. James is the 12th Assistant Secretary of the Army for Civil Works, a post he has held since his appointment by President Donald Trump in 2018. As the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Civil Works, James establishes policy direction and provides supervision of the Department of the Army functions relating to all aspects of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Civil Works program. These responsibilities include programs for conservation and development of the nation's water and wetland resources, flood control, navigation and shore protection. In his testimony to the Senate Appropriations Committee Subcommittee on Energy and Waterways Development on the FY20 budget, James communicated a $4.8 billion plan that focused on investments yielding a high economic and environmental return or addressing significant risk to public safety. Trained as a civil engineer, James took an early interest in drainage issues as he worked in business and agriculture. Prior to James' appointment as Assistant Secretary, he served nearly 4 decades on the Mississippi River Commission, appointed first by President Ronald Reagan in 1981, and then to 3 more 9-year terms by Presidents George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. The MRC is charged with preventing the Mississippi River from flooding towns, cities, industry, commerce, energy resources, and valuable cropland following heavy rainfall events or snowmelt, maintaining its navigability during all types of weather, and dredging harbors and ports to keep commerce moving. The expansive project is a system of flood control and navigation that James believes is the country's most successful civil works project. Prior to his appointment, Mr. James was a self-employed farmer and manager of cotton gins and grain elevators for the A.C. Riley Company in New Madrid, Missouri. R.D. James lives in New Madrid, Missouri with his wife, Jenny. They have 2 children.
In recognition of distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and commitment to community service, I hereby congratulate you on membership in the Hall of Distinction, R.D. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
You may have noticed the video said I'm from New Madrid, Missouri. That's incorrect. I'm from Kentucky. And I'm very proud of that fact, even though I've lived in Missouri 49 of 73 years. But I have been introduced now for that 49 years as R.D. James of New Madrid, Missouri, and I always correct the speaker when that's said about me. And I mean that. Kentucky's my home. It will always be my home. I was born and raised in the very southwest corner of this state, the farthest southwest corner of this state, Fulton County. Actually, part of the state down there, you have to go through Tennessee to get to it, and that's truth. But anyway, that's how I feel about Kentucky. I always have, and I always will. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to live and grow up and to be educated, and I mean that. I know this is not the Oscars or the Academy Awards, but I'd like to thank a few people in my life. And I would begin that with thanking my grandparents who legally adopted my brother and I when I was 5 years old. My brother was 3. They raised us as their own. My grandfather had a 3rd grade education. My grandmother had an 8th grade education. My grandfather was born in 1902. My grandmother was born in 1915. So you see the kind of people that raised me. I wasn't raised by the World War II, the great men and women of World War II. I was raised by the people that lived and went through the Depression as young adults. And what they taught me during my life as a child and as a teenager and as a high school student is different, I think, than most people's raising. and it has meant a lot to me, and I still thank them for that. I want to thank my wife of 51 years, Virginia James. She has stuck with me and been a total support of me for everything I've done. Like all of you, I've been a very busy person since the day I got married, and she overlooked a lot of times if I wasn't there when I should be. Birthdays I might have missed, ball games I might have missed, and all of that type thing as you're married and go through life. I would like to thank our 2 children, which also supported me during my adult life, during their childhood. Our son is 49 years old now, runs our business operations. Very seldom seeks advice from me, but he does seek advice from me. I hate to tell you, he's a graduate in economics at Mississippi State University and then got his master's degree in business administration from Washington University in St. Louis. And then having been at WashU in St. Louis for a couple of years, and all these other kids were looking at this and that, he actually came home from there looking like those other youngsters were, but finally decided to join our business and has been with us since then. And he did that on his own. His mother nor I tried to steer him to the family business. He made that decision, even having seen some of the big opportunities that were there for him elsewhere. So I've been very fortunate, and it all started right here on this campus. It all started right here. You know, I've been around the dean and the different leaders and chair of this university today, and what I hear is awesome. What they say is awesome. And it's things that I maybe thought when I was a student here, but I didn't hear it directly. It was a different perspective when I was 19 than it is today. And what I heard today is that we do what it takes to help the students. If you're at another university in the state of Kentucky and you transfer here, we try our best to transfer all your credits. We do what's necessary to make you successful here. Well, I thought that when I was here, but nobody ever said that. Nobody ever told me that. I think these people around us here today are telling the students that. They're relaying that to them. Hey, we're here to help you. We're not some guy standing up in front of you in the classroom or the dean down the building here that's trying to run this operation. We're here to help you. And that made me so proud today and feel so good what I heard here, Dean. It's unbelievable to me. The other thing is how humbled and in what awe I find myself today. This group and other people that aren't with us here today are very distinguished alumni, and to think that I even had an opportunity to join such a group blows my mind. And I'm very proud of that, and it's something I will carry to my grave. Thank you.
Until his retirement earlier this year, Richard Simpson was Vice President, Global Supply Chain for GE Gas Power. He has been a part of the General Electric family of businesses since graduating from UK in 1984. During that time, he has served in numerous executive and leadership roles with a focus on global supply chain and continuing his development as an operations leader. Simpson's career began in GE Appliance Park, where he went through GE's Operations Management Leadership Program. GE promoted Simpson to plant manager in 1994, giving him his first executive role. Simpson continued to be promoted through several plants until he was made senior executive in 2003, with responsibility for more than 20 plants. Simpson was promoted to vice president in 2012. During his career, Simpson traveled to and reviewed operations in more than 40 countries inside and outside of GE. In his last role, he oversaw more than 10,000 team members, 35 factories, and an operating budget of more than $6 billion. He retired with 37 years of service. Motivated by Luke 12:48, a passage in the Bible that says, "To whom much is given, much is required," Simpson and his wife Donna have devoted a significant amount of time and money to local charities and churches in the communities they have lived in. Simpson has helped raise more than $650,000 for children's charities through Bids for Kids and $700,000 for the American Cancer Society. He has also served on the board of directors of the Erie City Mission and Louisville United Way, as well as the West Virginia and Pennsylvania Make-A-Wish Foundation. In 2010-2011, Simpson led the Capital Stewardship Campaign at the Believers Church in Louisville, Kentucky. Richard Simpson and his wife Donna live in Georgetown, Kentucky. They have 2 adult children and 1 granddaughter.
Good evening. I'm Mike Renfro. I'm the chair of the Mechanical Engineering Department here at UK. Richard, in recognition of your outstanding professional achievements, your character, and your contributions to the community, I congratulate you on your election to the Hall of Distinction. Congratulations.
Thanks, Mike. Jana told me I only had 3 minutes, so I'm, Jana, I got you, 3 minutes. Look, I also want to recognize the department chairs, Rudy, the Dean of the College of Engineering, and frankly, the whole team, Robin, Jana, that put on this event. It's just fantastic, just a fantastic day, and I really do appreciate it. I'm reminded of something in the Bible, in Matthew chapter 7, there's a parable told by Jesus about the wise man and the foolish man. And the wise man, he built his house upon the rock. And the foolish man, he built his house upon sand. You don't have to be a Bible scholar or a very good mechanical engineer, by the way, Mike, to know how this turned out. The house on the rock, it stood strong. When the storms came, it stood. What I want to do is thank all the people who helped me build a foundation. My mom, 86 years old, is here to help. She put a foundation in me. And Janice said I would get emotional, and she's right. My faith, first and foremost, is important to me. My parents, Ronald and Trudy Simpson, they put a set of values in me similar to some of the people on this panel. I'm a first college graduate for my family. Frankly, the University of Kentucky, you took a person right off the farm and you educated me and you told me what was possible. That we could dream, and that while we had a strong foundation, we could dream of something bigger than maybe what we had. I've been fortunate to travel to many, many countries, and I've had the most incredible support network. I've had great teams from GE. I found out just earlier today that Becky Witt, who was my admin from 20 years ago, was going to come tonight. And that just means the world to me. Ultimately, my family, Rick and Shannon, my children, Trinity, my granddaughter, by the way, who is the prettiest little girl in this room, maybe a young woman, and my beautiful wife, Donna Simpson, who has supported me in 42 years. Unlike many of you, I got married as a freshman in college. I know it, hard to believe. 42 years we've been married now. We've moved 13 times, 6 different states, multiple countries. And she's always been with me, telling me, you can do this. The number of times that I've come home and said, I don't think I can do this. And she said, you can do this. I want to thank my family, my wife, the kids, who stood by me, who provided me a foundation. You know, they set me on a rock, something that you could build on, something where you could grow some wings and really dream. For that, I am eternally grateful. But this is way more for them than it is for me. So thank you.
Margaret Merrick Sturgill is the daughter of UK Emeritus Professor of Computer Science Victor Merrick. However, her interest in computers arrived independently of her father's profession. While the Merrick family was spending a year in Venezuela, 15-year-old Margaret's high school experienced a school-wide strike. While at her father's office, she noticed a computer that was ignored by everyone. Her father handed Margaret manuals for the machine. She took to it instantly and never looked back. In addition to earning her bachelor's degree in computer science, Sturgill also received a bachelor's degree in mathematics from UK. Shortly after graduating, she began a doctoral program in computer science at the University of Utah, from which she received her PhD in 1997. Sturgill joined HP as a product engineer, finishing her PhD. And in 1998, she left to become Chief Operations Officer of Ataman Software Incorporated, which had been founded by her husband Brian, also a computer science graduate from UK. In 2007, she rejoined HP Labs, first as a visiting scholar and later as a research engineer, where she worked on several company-wide projects involving software architecture in anti-counterfeiting, machine learning, and cloud systems. During her time at HP, Sturgill has received 32 patents for her work and contributed to 25 peer-reviewed papers. Earlier this year, Sturgill took a role as Senior Systems Architect, PS Software Data Science Group in HP's Personal Systems Division, which produces the company's home computers and workstations. Sturgill volunteers at a variety of STEM-related programs, including Harmony Tech Camp, Hour of Code, and Code Wars. She has also performed volunteer service for Women Investing in Strategies for Health and a charitable prosthesis group for breast cancer survivors and patients. Margaret Sturgill lives in Fort Collins, Colorado, with her husband, Brian. They have one daughter.
My name is Song Mingfei. I'm the chair of Department of Computer Science. Margaret, in recognition of your distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and the commitment to the community service, I hereby congratulate you in the membership in the Hall of Distinction.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank
Sorry.
you. So, I would like to thank the Academy. No, wait, that's not till March. I like most of my grad student friends. I did not go to the movies. I did not make them. They do. But instead, I went in the direction of, well, everything else. And I certainly have the UK Computer Science Department to thank for it. You all gave me a safe place to learn, to grow, and dream, and set me on a path that I follow to this day. What a great honor is to be inducted into the UK College of Engineering Hall of Distinction, and I couldn't have reached this place without many of you who are sitting here today. First and foremost, I would like to thank my parents, Elizabeth and Victor Merrick, who supported my computer obsession from the beginning and gave up a lot so I could get where I am today. I would like to thank my husband, Brian, and my daughter, Natalia, who put up with long night coding sessions and gave me a reason to be a role model for young women in STEM. I would like to thank my UK professors, especially Professor Strushinsky, Wasilkowski, Aramczyk, who put up with me as an undergraduate, but in taking either independent studies or graduate level courses. They never told that when I slacked off, and at that point, they taught me that I was responsible for my own education and my own academic future. I would like to thank Professor Kabotas, who my freshman year handed me a C programming book and a project that the department needed, and told me if I learned the language and got the project done, he would hire me into the system administration group. I didn't realize at the time how hard this project was. When I thought about it a few years later, it was bad. But I did get it done. He laughed a lot at my code, but I got it done. But along the way, I learned that I could raise at my own merits, and I could learn when I needed to. My deepest thanks go to the system administration group, which treated me as one of the guys. Well, except for Brian. We got married to everybody's reputation, but we've been married 33 years, so I guess it's okay. They taught me that being an only woman in the room does not have to be scary and uncomfortable. And this is a lesson that I try to pass on to young women who I meet during my volunteer opportunities. I have done a variety of things in my professional life. I have worked in a corporate program division. I have run as operations of a small software company. Let's see, I have been a researcher in a corporate lab. I have switched all kinds of things I worked on. I worked on anti-counterfeiting and imaging and on financial forecasting. But I have, throughout all of these, I have come back to my roots, to system design and software architecture, where I learned to love here in UK. So once again, I thank you for this honor, and I would hope to continue to embody the lessons I have learned here for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Born in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, Harlan Wheatley has spent nearly his entire life in the bluegrass. After relocating and spending much of his youth in Florence, Kentucky, Wheatley attended Northern Kentucky University, where he attained his degree in chemistry. He then migrated to full-time work at a chemical company in central Kentucky, while completing a chemical engineering degree at the University of Kentucky. Wheatley joined the George T. Stagg Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky as a supervisor in 1995. Not long after, it was rechristened Buffalo Trace Distillery, whereupon it introduced its flagship Buffalo Trace bourbon. It marked a new era in the distillery's esteemed history, and Wheatley continued to make his mark as he was promoted to distillery manager in 2000. Wheatley was named Master Distiller of Buffalo Trace Distillery in 2005, becoming Buffalo Trace's 6th Master Distiller since the Civil War. Since then, he has become synonymous with Buffalo Trace and helped it become one of the most decorated brands in the bourbon industry. An innovator in his field, Wheatley oversees all distilling operations for Sazerac Company, many of which he has developed for the distillery's family of products. Having worked in every aspect of production, from raw materials to barrel aging as master distiller, Wheatley has driven many initiatives, including solidifying standards and consistency, promoting quality, and increasing efficiency. While leading and directing all distilling and barrel aging for the Sazerac Company, he also educates the public on some of the world's finest bourbon whiskeys. Wheatley is a 4-time James Beard Award nominee in the Outstanding Wine and Spirits Professional category. In 2015 and 2016, he was named Distillery Manager, Master Distiller of the Year at Whiskey Magazine's Icons of Whiskey America Awards. Harlan Wheatley lives in Frankfort, Kentucky with his wife Heather. They have 2 sons.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Jubila, and I'm the chair of the Department of Chemical and Materials Engineering. Harlan, in recognition of distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and commitment to community service, I hereby congratulate you as a member in the Hall of Distinction.
Thank you all. Last but not least, right? And I'm the only thing standing between you and the bar. So I'll make it quick. But great words today, great introduction, very kind words. And I always humbled by everything that's always said about me and our family of products. When I was at Boone County High School in northern Kentucky, my hardest subject was chemistry. So when I went to college, because I knew I wanted to go to college and make a little money, I decided to major in chemistry. Makes a lot of sense, but to me it was a challenge. And when I started at Northern, I talked to my friends and they told me about this program that, with the University of Kentucky where I could do both majors. So I transferred down to Lexington and started taking 500 level chemistry classes and entry-level engineering. And I was working 2 jobs along the way, and so it was tough, but it was definitely worth it, of course. What it did for me, and I think a lot of people have said this, the University of Kentucky gives people confidence. And with that confidence, especially what I went through, I felt like I could tackle any job that came down the pike. And I had a quote from Marcus Garvey. He's a Jamaican-born activist in the early 1900s. He said, "With confidence, you have won before you have started. If you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life." And I think these words is exactly what we all went through when we were at the University of Kentucky. We get these, whatever the degree is, you come out of the university with confidence. You feel like you can tackle things, and this is all good examples of that. Of course, while I was in Lexington, I learned about the bourbon industry, and that's where the connection got started. I'm talking about the professional side. But when I finished in 1994, the bourbon industry, we had 7 distilleries in the whole country. And there wasn't anything like it is today. But what attracted me to it was the history that was there. My theory was the distillery's been there for 200 years. I think it's going to be there for 200 more. And I wanted that stability, so I took that job, and I saw the potential. So we went to work. There was 50 people at the distillery in the whole company, 50 people. And we saw the potential. We dug in. We started renovating. We spent a lot of money, a lot of investments, both by products and in equipment. We did a lot of promotions, talking about bourbon. I've traveled all over the world talking about bourbon. And everywhere I go, I always talk about Kentucky. No matter what state or country I'm in, I bring them back to Kentucky. And I try to paint the picture of Kentucky and connect them to bourbon and what it means to this state. It's one of the signature things of the state. We've grown the business now globally. We are the largest U.S. supplier of spirits in the world. We have 10 distilleries. We have 3,500 employees. And we're continuing to grow. No plans of slowing down. We're having trouble keeping up, to be honest with you, but we're going to make it work. None of this could be possible, again, without that confidence from the University of Kentucky. And I want to thank all my awesome professors. It was fun today to meet. There's actually a couple of professors still here. And I got to meet them and talk to them. I got to hug Dr. Bhattacharya. He's just a totally awesome guy. But I continue to work with the university through their recruiting. And I remember I met with Seth DeBolt over at the mining building about, 6 or 7 years ago. And he talked about this new distillation certificate program. And he was basically polling the industry people of what we needed from people that were graduating to give them a job at the end of the journey. And Seth took that thing to another level. Now I think there's waiting lists for every class. And it's turning out some outstanding students. And we've recruited 3 or 4 already, and we're actively recruiting this team of people. So it's a great job by Seth and Brad and all these guys that are working hard, teaching these kids about the bourbon industry. I think Dean Rudy said earlier today it's 20,000 jobs in the state of Kentucky. The numbers that I saw was about 80,000 jobs. So there's a lot of jobs. There's over 2,000 distilleries in the country. So it's important to arm these students with that education, and they're doing that, and I'm proud of that. And of course, I couldn't have done any of this without the support of my family. Most of the players are sitting down there today, but of course, the one I have to thank the most is my wife. She is the glue that holds this whole family together. She keeps us all on track. She works harder than any person in this room, and I can't thank her enough. And then I've got my 2 boys that I'm so proud of. My oldest son graduated last year, and my youngest son is a sophomore at UK, so both at UK. So that's something I'm very proud of. It's fun to watch these kids going through what I went through and getting that confidence and getting into the market. So I just want to thank you so much for this induction. It's a prestigious event. I'm humbled by the whole thing, and I'm passionate about University of Kentucky, and I always will be. So, last but not least, let's go get Mississippi State. Go Cats.
You all excuse me for this, but the program mentioned that my wife and I had 2 children, and during my talk, I only mentioned our son, which came back to work for the family business. Our daughter was killed when she was 19 in a car accident, and I didn't think I could get through telling you that, but I built up enough courage and nerve that. And the other thing, I didn't want you to leave here thinking he never mentioned his other child. So that's why I didn't mention my other child. But I just couldn't, Dean, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I couldn't go without saying it. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know about you all, but all I got to say is, wow, you know. It occurs to me that if all the College of Engineering had done in its 156 years is produce 151 people like these folks, we would have been doing good. But the reality is we've graduated over 26,000 others who are doing the kinds of things, having the kind of impact on the profession and society that these people are. So thank you all. Congratulations. We appreciate you letting us celebrate your career accomplishments and your contributions. So I'd like to ask all of the 2021 Hall of Distinction inductees to stand and ask that you please join me in congratulating Joan, R.D., Richard, Margaret, and Harlan. Congratulations. This concludes the Hall of Distinction ceremony and begins the celebratory reception, which will start with a special toast from our friend Joe Halcomb. Please join us for Joe's toast under the tent to your right. We ask that you proceed out by rows, starting with the front row out this way. Thanks very much for coming out and celebrating with us.